Yes, sir. What it do? It's your boy, Mr. World Shoe, aka your favorite investor. And listen, today I'm back with another YouTube video. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just here to help y'all on y'all investing journey. But listen, if you click on this video, it's because you were able to save your first $1,000 and you want to know, well, how you should invest it. Now, before we get into the video, you should know that you shouldn't take any of the advice on this channel as a recommendation, and all views are my own, and information on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. Like I said, this is not financial advice and should not substitute for financial advice from a professional. As always, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button, as it shows me you appreciate the information I provide on this channel. But like I said, you were able to put together your first $1,000, man. Congratulations, that is a huge accomplishment. I know there's a lot of people out there that can't even scrape together their first $100 in savings. So for you to be able to scrape together $1,000, that's amazing. Now let's be wise with it, right? There's a lot of people on the internet that are spewing a lot of things. And you probably think that there's some secret formula out there to say 10x the $1,000 in about what, 10 days, right? Because you know everybody wants to grow money fast. Now, I'm here to tell you it's not possible unless you were somehow able to have a stroke of luck in some YOLO options play, or you were able to buy into something that all of a sudden just magically went up, you know what I'm saying, 1,000% or 100% or whatever, and you're basically messing around with risky biotech stocks. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you might get lucky, but more often than not, you're probably gonna end up being somebody's bag holder while somebody else is taking profits, because at this point in the game, you don't know what you're doing. And I don't mean to say this in a way that it, you know, to make somebody upset, but most of the times when people are first entering the markets, they don't know exactly what's going on. There's smarter players out here, people that have been paying attention to the game longer, that just know more than you do about what's going on in the financial markets. But let's be real, there is a lot of ways to grow $1,000, some riskier than others, like I'm saying. But before I get into them, I want you to understand that none of these routes are easy. None of them are guaranteed, because investing is not guaranteed. The faster that you understand this, the easier time you'll have when you're diving into the financial markets. You have to have a long-term mindset and a long-term outlook in order to benefit the long-term historical benefits of the stock market. So say you were able to save the $1,000, you invested the $1,000. If you take a look at this, I currently am invested in IVV. I like that ticker symbol. Some people like VOO, VTI. There's a couple of different tickers. They're basically just general S&P 500 tickers. And if you were to invest $1,000 into this fund without putting any other cash in, and you did this on January 11, 2003, you would be looking at about $6,220.96, a total of 522% return on your money at an annual rate of almost 9.6%. That is incredible. That is huge growth. That is what you're looking for. You're looking to be in the markets for a long time, not a short time. You're looking for your money to just compound. And keep in mind that this also does not take into consideration any type of dividend reinvestment or adding a single penny into the investment. This is how powerful it is to just have a long-term outlook on the overall financial markets and investing in something like a general S&P 500 index fund. You don't have to get fancy with it. You don't have to do anything crazy. But this is definitely one of the ways where you can grow that $1,000 in a safe way and see, you know, large returns. Some years you might have down, it might be a down year, just like this year, where we've kind of seen the S&P 500 drop over 20%, and so returns have been pretty much negligible. But I'm gonna be honest, for me, this has been a fantastic time to buy. And the reason I'm saying this is because my outlook on the overall US economy is bullish. So right now for me, I'm not looking to go into any risky penny stocks or start playing around with some of these tech companies that haven't necessarily proven their worth yet. There are a lot of tech companies out there, and I will get into that later in this video. So like I said, investing in the general S&P 500 index though, you shouldn't really be worried about the next recession. You shouldn't really be worrying about you know, any of these other things that is going on, because at the end of the day, they're all noise for your long-term view on the markets. All you have to do is just have that long-term view and basically have faith that the US economy is going to recover. Now, we talked about this fund, but I feel like it's also important that I should mention that you do your homework on your brokerages, right? There's a lot of different brokerages out there: Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity, E-Trade, You know, a lot of different brokerages out there. You want to make sure that you get into one that has 0 commissions and also allows you to have fractional shares. Me personally, I started using Stash Invest back in 2017. This was my first brokerage. The reason that I started using them was because they had really low fees, 0 commissions on trades, and I was able to buy fractional shares at $5 a piece. So some of the first companies that I started investing in was IVV, SCHD. I also had an aerospace ETF in there. I forgot the ticker. I got to go back and look at it. I also started investing in Tesla. So I picked up Tesla back in 2017. So these are all companies that I thought that were going to continue to do well. And for me, these things actually ended up working out. But like I said, you want to make sure you find a brokerage that is good for you. Now, I don't use Stash. I actually transferred all of my stuff over to Fidelity. And for the most part, I've been having a pretty good time with them. So you want to make sure that once you get that brokerage that you end up allocating your funds appropriately, right? You want to make sure that your $1,000 are allocated amongst a couple of different ETFs or a couple of different companies. You don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket, because if one thing goes down, you're not going to see any benefits from anything else. So for me personally, I'm looking for growth and relative stability. So as I continue to invest my earned income, I have basically S&P 500 ETFs, I have REITs, I have long-term bonds, and I have some other companies that I think have some really positive future outlooks. I've also gone ahead and I've divvied my account. So if you guys haven't seen the video yet, I dropped a video on how to use Webull. I use Webull for most of my trades and a lot of the companies that I want to invest in that I don't necessarily want to hold in my long-term investment account. So I hold companies like Netflix, Apple, Google, Amazon in those accounts. And right now I've been accumulating shares of those companies as the economy is down. And this is because I'm using this to really grow my account exponentially as these tech companies will grow in the future. I believe that there's a lot of room for them to grow. I'm actually going to end up I did a review on Netflix and why I'm super bullish on Netflix. And I've also been doing my homework on Meta. I think Meta is also a really good company. But like I said, these are not recommendations. We are still in a growth restricted state. As you guys can see here, I have the S&P 500 up, and we're basically looking at a downtrend. And right now it kind of seems like it made a higher high, but I'm not going to get into it too much. Just know that we're still in an uptrend and we're waiting for it to break to one of the other sides. We have CPA data coming up this week. I'm going to get away from that for a second. Got sidebarred. But anyways, to invest $1,000, you want to make sure that you're well diversified, and you want to understand that right now we are still in a state where interest rates are pushing up higher and inflation is still increasing. So that $1,000 might not grow right away right now, but it will eventually as you invest in good names, good companies, and good ETFs. You can also take a look at something like the Invesco QQQ, which tracks basically the NASDAQ and all these other tech companies, and it's not trading at the same premium that it once was. So $1,000 is a lot of money, and you want to make sure that you put it in the right spot. You want to make sure that you've done your homework on your brokerages, do your homework on your different companies, ETFs, and make sure that you personally understand what is going on in your investments, right? Stop listening to random people on the internet, and don't be so worried about the R word. And remember, it's a game for the patient, man. The stock market is a game where it transfers money from the impatient to the patient. So always keep that in mind. As always, it's your boy, Mr. World Shoe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Happy investing, and always protect the capital. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.